New details emerging about the EPA's plans to remove radioactive waste from West Lake Landfill.
After meeting with the EPA, a group of local advocates say the size and scope of the project are continuing to grow. The landfill, which was contaminated with radioactive material in the 1970s, sits just off St. Charles Rock Road in Bridgeton and was declared a Superfund site in 1990. 5 News 5's Holden Koricki's in studio with the latest details on the EPA's plans to clean up the site.
Well, Kelly and Mike, that site is now 130 acres, and Just Mom's STL, as you well know, was instrumental in the passage of the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, which provides payments for people who live in 21 St. Louis area zip codes affected by that radiation. And for years, they've advocated for transparency at sites like West Lake, which is why they were more than happy to provide the EPA with their input on cleaning up the contamination.
After 13 years of fighting for change at West Lake Landfill,
getting this out of our community is the ultimate goal.
Just Mom's STL co-founders Karen Nickel and Dawn Chapman are starting to see signs of progress.
It's surreal knowing that we're at the end right now and we have a cleanup that's going to happen shortly. So it's kind of exciting, but it's also, there's still a little bit of fear and dread and anxiety just standing here.
According to the EPA, beginning in 1973, radioactive material was dumped and in some cases buried inside the landfill by the truckload. But recent core samples showed the contamination is more widespread than initially believed.
I mean, it's bad that there was more on the site, right, than they originally thought. And that's something that the community's been saying for years, so it was validating, you know. But it's good that they found it.
The work to clean up West Lake isn't set to begin until 2027. Nickel and Chapman told 5 on Your Side the EPA's remediation efforts will look much different than those performed by the Army Corps of Engineers.
It's going to be a very strategic surgical removal.
They can actually see the depths and how far down it goes, every sample.
It's going to be very coordinated in what spot and how deep to dig, and then immediately the hole will be backfilled and then the material will be sealed.
Once work begins, the EPA estimates it could take at least 4 years before the site is safe.
And I don't think that I care how long it's going to be taken. You know, if they have to remove it a teaspoon at a time, that's a little bit of the risk leaving and containing it, and then putting it someplace where it can be watched out of this community so it doesn't cause any more illness and cancer.
One question the EPA still hasn't been able to answer is exactly where they plan to take the waste removed from West Lake Landfill. Both Nickel and Chapman told me that after years of fighting for that remediation, they don't care where it goes as long as it's still not in the ground in St. Louis, making people sick.